Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Dexter's Graphics here. Today we'll be creating a simple movie poster design. It's titled Live Memories. So sit back, relax, and let's get creating. Guys, here we are. So this is the image you'll be creating. It's on my Instagram page. You can decide to follow me, no problem. I post regularly, at least 3-4 times a week. And for those that may be wondering, I'm using OBS Studio to record my screen. So let's get into it. So first of all, you create a document with dimension 1500 by 1000 by 2000 pixels. It's appropriate because in case you want to post on Instagram, it's still manage to fit into the Instagram size template. So then you source for images. Actually, you can decide to use the exact same images I used, but first things first is source for images that look like what you're going to be seeing me using. Some of them are not totally clear. It's spoiler alert, especially the first one. That image you're seeing here, it's not clear. So we'll be manipulating it to make it quite clear. So that's the first thing we'll be doing. So import it into Photoshop. So and then you will begin to see it. Yes, this image right here is what we'll be using. So first things first is you can see the image does not have balance, so we have to balance it out, because aesthetically you need something that is pleasing to the eyes some way, and to give the overall final output a proper balance. So we'll be cropping out part of him, the left side of him, then we'll duplicate that towards the right side. So let's quickly do that. So as you must have noticed, the image is very low resolution. It's pretty blurry when you zoom in, but when you zoom out, it's quite maintains its look. So we're using the lasso tool, polygon lasso tool, to create the shape around, or the selection around the edges. So once that is done, it will highlight the selected area. So you create a layer mask. The layer mask helps us to reveal images, part of the images that we want to reveal later, or conceal the ones that we don't want to see anymore, but it does not affect the original image. If you look at that closely, we are touching just the layer mask. So you will switch between the colors, the background and the foreground colors. White is to reveal, black is to conceal. So after that is done, you select both layers and then you merge, so you have that image right there. So after that, you import the image into Camera Raw filter. So we are trying to enhance the resolution and make it a little bit more clear. As you can see, it's still blurry. So basically what you will do is go to the basic, then just play around with the clarity texture. It will improve the vibrance of the image. In the detail, you play around with the noise reduction filter. So basically what you're seeing on your low resolution image is noise. So if you increase the sharpness and then increase the noise reduction, the image tends to get a little bit smoother. There are other techniques to do this, but these just because I'm not going to be zooming in on the image on the final output. So just increase the noise reduction. That's you reduce the noise, so the image is enhanced a little bit. It's a little bit clearer. Okay, so once we're done with that aspect of it, we'll still need two more things. So we'll come to the mixer brush. It's a technique photographers use to smoothen out images, but we'll just go the plain route. We'll not have too much in depth into that mixer brush. So just smoothing out areas that the noise reduction filter couldn't touch, like the face, underneath the glasses, and some part of the shirt, to give it that smoother look, like the image is actually a high resolution image, but it's not. It's not. So we're just doing that to improve the quality of the image. So that's basically what you do for now on that image. it's a fantastic technique to improve the quality of images that you couldn't get the actual resolution of the image, so you can improve the quality of an image by doing some of these techniques. Okay, so guys, I hope we're learning one or two things. So if you are enjoying the video, like, subscribe, hit the notification icon, and share with your friends. Just play around and create something unique. I would love to see what you can create with this tutorial. So after that, you create a rectangle tool. So now we're going to create the images underneath the man. So create a rectangle tool, and then you import the selected images. So the idea for the images is based on the name of the movie cover. It's Life Memories. So it's talking about a man that got married, had a family, grew old, lost his wife, but still found a way to remain happy after that. So it's basically memories of life from the angle of a man. I'm hoping to maybe do one for a woman, I don't know, but just create, if you can play around with the idea and tweak it to fit it into a storyline to make it unique, beautiful. That would be beautiful. So as you can see, I'm just working around with the rectangle that will sit the images. So after that, you import the images. 4 images I used. So the reason I use 4 images is to keep it simple as possible, so as not to complicate the design. Simplicity is always the best. It's always the best. So we'll be using a series of it's basic, it's very basic. Apart from the first image that we had to edit, the remaining things are basic. You just use the eraser tool and some positioning, and that's all. So let's get to that part. So you import the 4 images. So after importing the first image, you create an adjustment layer for black and white. So it's below at the layers panel, but it's underneath. You click it and then you see black and white, and then you click it. So you create a clipping mask over the image, the first image. So how to create a clipping mask? You put the black and white above the image, and then you hover in between both of them and hold down alternate. So when you hold down alternate, it's going to create a clip mask, and that's how only that image will become black and white. If you don't do that, everything below that layer will be black and white, and we don't want that. There's also another way to do it. You can put all of them into a group and then use one black and white adjustment layer to make it look black and white, but then I didn't want to do that way. I just had to do everything singularly. But then after I do that, I will merge it so that the images remain black and white. So I believe now to merge, just highlight both of them, right click, and then merge layers. So after that, you do that for all the images. You do that for all the images. So one thing I forgot to mention was you have to, after clipping mask the black and white to the images, you also clip mask the image to the rectangle so that they sit in the rectangle. They don't sit above, they don't overlap, they sit in the rectangle, because that rectangle is where the image will fit and cause it to have a balanced look. Because every design has to have a balance. That's the point of design. It has to have a balance. So that's why you're going to be doing that. So after all the images are done, you'll move on to the next phase of the design. Okay, so after we've done all that, we'll now begin to focus on the adjustment, balancing, and the structure of the poster. So we'll group everything into a folder. You can decide to name the folder images, but so you make sure the images are below or beneath the man standing and looking up. Make sure it's below it. So that's what will give it the effect of him standing over it, just looking up and smiling. See, it creates a cinematic feel whereby the man is looking. He doesn't really know those are his images because it's abstract, but that's his lifespan. That will be his lifespan. So if we get married, we'll have a family, children will leave, he will enjoy old age with his wife, and then she will pass on, and then he will be alone. But then he will still find joy in old age. That's the point of the poster design. I just hope it can explain what I'm trying to pass across. So you create a layer mask, and then you make sure you erase on the layer mask, because I keep emphasizing on this fact that you have to erase on a layer mask in order for it not to lose original images. So if you want to restore any part that you mistakenly cleaned off, you can just change the foreground color or the background color, and then you reveal. That's how it works. So here we are trying to make a blending with the background, which let it blend in with the background. Hence we are cleaning the bottom. So you play around with that until it fits the way you want it to look. So yeah, until it fits what you want it to look like, then that's what I'm doing here. So I continue to play around with how it looks, so that the images come out, but then they're still kind of there's a surreal feeling, soft feeling about the images. So I reduced the opacity a little, I guess, and then adjusted the images to fit. Just play around with the images, play around with them. That's how to make it work. So after that, you use the brush tool to create a shadow effect underneath the man. So make sure all these layers are coming beneath the layer of the man. In Photoshop, layer arrangement is very important, so whatever layer is above will automatically be the one at the forefront. So make sure layers come beneath the man, because the man is like the first image that pops when people open the poster. So after that, that's basically the movie poster. I told you it's very simple. That's basically it. So right now, what you'll be doing is just adjustment and balancing of the blending and everything. That's basically what you're doing, what I'm doing right now. So after that, you write the text. The texts are basically two fonts, Bebas and Aestheticals. The Bebas is a variation of Bebas book or Bebas light. You can use either of them. So, but make sure all these are appearing behind the man. So when you begin to type, you can give the title whatever you want. Just make sure it has a story that resonates with the background or with the images that you're choosing. I don't know if you understand. So basically, life memories. That's what I decided to call it. So I type in the memories, use the particular size, made it diagonal to fit in with the direction of the images. As you can see, like I said, balance is important. So if something is following a particular pattern, you maintain that pattern throughout a design, at least 2 changes and more. So the images follow in line with the title telling the story. Then the rest, any other text that is going to be sitting outside of that direction, does not relate totally to the title or the text or the images. I don't know if you understand that. So play around with it, write whatever you want, title it whatever you want. I would really love to see what you can create. So I'll be creating a Netflix remix. So I call it Dexflix. So it's basically just writing Netflix or your name in Bebas fonts, Bebas bold or Bebas normal. Then you change it to color red, and then you convert it to either a smart object or a rasterized layer, and then you right click on you transform, Control T, and then you right click and then you select warp. Then you just drag the middle from the bottom, and then you've created a Netflix logo. I don't know, there are more techniques. There's a lot that goes into a Netflix logo, but that's just the basic look. It's a look-alike. It does not have to be exactly like a Netflix logo. Then you can create the bottom texts. You can copy them off Google, but I decided to write them out by myself and then use the same font, Bebas. Movie posters have a particular font, and search for that on Google. So that's basically the movie poster. So after that, we'll be going into making it have a feel. Well, we'll be going back into camera raw filter. But before we go into camera raw filter, we'll have to create a layer that contains everything merged. So how you do that is you control alternate shift E. I just hope you got that. Control alternate shift and E to create a full poster that is merged together. But it does not, when you do that, it does not affect the initial layers. It only creates a single layer from all the layers below. So make sure you're at the top, not necessarily, but make sure you're at the top for easy location, to easily locate it. That's what I mean. So once you create that, you go into camera raw filter, play around with the balance, play around with grains, add grains to give you that feel of realism. Then create a vignette and then export. You're good to go. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that movie poster tutorial. Please do go to like, subscribe, leave questions in the comment section. I'll definitely get back to you. Share with your friends, create amazing posters, play around with the ideas that I shared. Just create something unique, tell a story in your poster. Create something that resonates with your audience. You can be a personal story, you can be just make a storyline out of the movie poster. I can't wait to see what you're creating. Do not forget, if you create something, tag me on Instagram at Dexious_graphics, and then I will hopefully reach out to you and repost on my story. So guys, until next time, cheers.